Trailer trash stays out. Amanda's voice cut through the summer air like a knife as she blocked the pool entrance, her perfectly manicured hand raised to stop my kids in their tracks. This is a private pool for people who actually belong here. My twins, Jack and Sophie, both 8, clutched their towels tighter, their excited faces falling at their stepsister's cruel words. Behind Amanda, her own children lounged on designer pool floats, smirking at their cousin's rejection. But Aunt Amanda, Sophie's small voice trembled. You invited us for the pool party. That was before I realized you'd actually show up. Amanda sneered, adjusting her designer sunglasses. I mean, look at your Target swimsuits. This is a Versace pool area. I'm Jessica, and at 35, I'd spent the last decade watching my stepsister flaunt her supposed wealth while treating my family like second-class citizens. When my mom married Amanda's father 5 years ago, the divide between our families became even more pronounced. Mom? I called out to where she sat with her wealthy husband. Richard, are you really going to let this happen? She barely looked up from her magazine, waving dismissively. It's Amanda's house now, dear. She can decide who uses the pool. Richard nodded in agreement. Amanda has certain standards to maintain. You understand, don't you? I watched my children's shoulders slump, remembering how excited they'd been when the invitation arrived. They'd spent their allowance money on new swimming goggles, dreaming of finally swimming in the famous backyard pool they'd only seen in family photos. Your little trailer park twins might contaminate the water, Amanda added, loud enough for her country club friends to hear and laugh. I mean, you live in what, a 3-bedroom ranch? Do you even have a pool? My hand instinctively went to my phone, thinking about the banking app that held our family's biggest secret. If they only knew who really owned not just the pool, but the entire estate they were so proud of. You see, when Amanda's father died 2 years ago, everyone assumed he'd left everything to her. The mansion, the cars, the lifestyle they'd flaunted for years. What they didn't know was that his company had been failing for years, and I'd been the anonymous investor who'd saved it all. Through careful investments and smart business decisions, I'd built my own fortune while living modestly. When Richard's company faced bankruptcy, I stepped in through a series of shell corporations, becoming the majority stakeholder. Not even my mother knew that her comfortable lifestyle was funded by the daughter she'd always seen as the family disappointment. Come on, kids, I said quietly, putting an arm around each of my children. We don't need to swim here. But Mom, Jack whispered, we've never been in a pool this big. Amanda's daughter Madison called out, hey trailer twins, maybe you can swim in a kiddie pool from Walmart. The other children laughed, splashing water in our direction. My mother still hadn't looked up from her magazine, too absorbed in maintaining her image of upper-class sophistication. I led my kids toward the gate, their small hands gripping mine tightly. As we walked, I could hear Amanda loudly discussing her recent renovation plans with her friends. We're thinking of adding a second pool, she boasted. Something more exclusive, you know. Can't have certain elements bringing down property values. That was the moment I decided it was time. I'd maintained the charade long enough, watching them treat my children like unwanted intruders while living off my money. Once we were in the car, I pulled out my phone while the twins sat quietly in the back seat, still clutching their unused towels. Mr. Davidson, it's Jessica. I think it's time to stop the automatic payments on the Harrison estate. My banker's voice was understanding. All of them? The mortgage, utilities, staff salaries, everything, I confirmed. And please prepare the ownership transfer documents we discussed. I think the family needs to learn who really owns their luxury lifestyle. It'll take about 24 hours for the changes to take effect. Are you sure about this? I looked in the rearview mirror at my children, seeing the hurt in their eyes from their cousin's cruel words. Absolutely sure. It's time for some truth. Very well, I'll have everything ready by tomorrow morning. Would you like me to include the information about the company ownership as well? Yes, I said, starting the car. They should know exactly who they've been looking down on all these years. As we drove away from the mansion, Sophie's small voice came from the back seat. Mom, why does Aunt Amanda hate us so much? I gripped the steering wheel tighter. She doesn't hate us, sweetheart. She just thinks money makes people better than others. But tomorrow, she's going to learn a very important lesson about judging people. What kind of lesson? Jack asked, perking up slightly. I smiled, thinking about the notifications that would hit their phones tomorrow morning. The kind that reminds people that kindness matters more than money. And speaking of pools, I turned onto a different street. How would you like to see our new house? The one with the Olympic-sized pool I've been having built. Their excited gasps filled the car as I drove toward our real home. The one I'd kept secret while watching Amanda and my mother play their status games. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't just about taking things away. It's about revealing who really held the power all along. The next morning exploded with chaos. My phone started ringing at 7 a.m., first with Amanda's number, then my mother's, then their family lawyers. I let them all go to voicemail, while I made breakfast for the twins. "Mom, your phone keeps buzzing," Sophie noted, munching on her waffles. "I know, sweetie, sometimes grown-ups need a moment to process big surprises." The first text from Amanda was exactly what I expected. "What the hell is going on? The power is out, and the pool staff didn't show up." Then came my mother's message. "Jessica, there must be some mistake. The bank says all the accounts are frozen. Please call immediately." I waited until the twins were dressed before driving them to school. As we passed the mansion, we could see Amanda in her designer robe, arguing with the departing housekeeping staff in the driveway. After dropping the kids off, I drove to Mr. Davidson's office. It was time to face the music and my family. Amanda burst into the conference room first, still in her designer workout clothes, followed by my mother and their lawyer. Their faces were a mix of panic and fury. "What have you done?" Amanda demanded, slapping a stack of papers on the table. "These documents say you own everything." "Everything? That's impossible." I stayed seated, calm and collected. "Is it impossible because I'm trailer trash, or because you never bothered to check where your money was really coming from?" My mother sank into a chair, her face pale. "Jessica, please tell me this is a mistake. You live in a ranch house. You shop at Target. I live within my means." I corrected her. "Something none of you understood while spending my money." Amanda's lawyer cleared his throat. "Miss Harrison, these documents indicate you've been the majority shareholder of Harrison Enterprises for the past 5 years, and the true owner of the estate for the last 2. "That's right," I confirmed. "When Richard's company was failing, I bought it through my investment firm." Every renovation Amanda bragged about, every party she threw, every bill she never worried about, all paid for by the trailer trash she looked down on. "But how?" Amanda stammered. "You're nobody. You drive a Honda." I opened my laptop, displaying my portfolio. "I built my own company while you were busy judging people by their clothes and addresses. I invested wisely, lived modestly, and watched you waste money you thought you had." "Why didn't you tell us?" my mother whispered. "Would it have changed how you treated my children? Would Amanda have stopped calling them trailer twins if she knew I could buy and sell her 10 times over?" Amanda collapsed into a chair, her perfect composure cracking. "What are you going to do?" "The estate is being transferred to my name officially today. You have 2 weeks to find new accommodation, something more suited to your actual finances." "You can't do this to us," Amanda shrieked. "What about my children, their friends, our reputation?" "Your children?" I raised an eyebrow. "Like how you cared about my children yesterday, when you humiliated them at the pool." My mother tried a different approach. "Darling, we're family. Surely we can work something out." "Family?" I laughed softly. "Was it family when you watched Amanda bully my kids? When you pretended not to know me at country club events? When you told people I was the unfortunate daughter who couldn't afford a better life?" The room fell silent. "The mansion's pool is being renovated next month," I continued. "I'm donating it to the local community center. Now everyone's children can swim there, regardless of what their swimsuits cost." Amanda's face crumpled. "Where are we supposed to go?" "There are some lovely 3-bedroom ranches in my neighborhood," I suggested with a smile. "You know where the trailer trash lives." As they left the conference room, defeated and shocked, my mother turned back. "When did you become so cruel?" "Cruel?" I shook my head. "No, Mom, I'm teaching the lesson you should have taught years ago. That character matters more than money." "And Amanda?" I called after her. "The twins are having a pool party next weekend at our new house. They'd love to invite their cousins, if you can handle shopping at Target for swimsuits." 1 week later, I stood in our new backyard, watching the twins splash happily in our pool with their cousins. Yes, Amanda's children had actually come, wearing Target swimsuits that Sophie and Jack had helped them pick out. The change in living circumstances had hit Amanda's family hard. They'd moved into a modest rental house, 3 streets down from my old ranch home. Their luxury cars had been repossessed, and Amanda's country club membership had been revoked when they discovered she wasn't actually a Harrison heir. "It's weird seeing Madison without her designer stuff," Sophie commented, watching her cousin tentatively learn to enjoy a simple pool noodle rather than expensive pool floats. "People change when they have to," I replied, setting out snacks that I'd prepared myself. No catering staff in sight. Amanda sat awkwardly on a regular pool chair, not the custom loungers she was used to. She'd traded her designer swimsuit for a department store version, and her perfect makeup was absent. Surprisingly, she looked younger, less strained. "Jessica," she said quietly, as I passed her a glass of lemonade, "I've been thinking about yesterday, when Madison couldn't figure out how to make her own sandwich for lunch." I sat down beside her, remembering the panicked phone call I'd received about basic life skills her children lacked. "Our chef always made their meals," she continued, "and the housekeepers did everything else. I realized I don't even know how to do laundry properly. That's why I had Sophie and Jack help you yesterday," I replied. "They've been doing their own laundry since they were 6. Your children know more about real life than mine do," she admitted, watching as Jack taught her son how to dive properly. "I thought I was giving them the best life. But maybe the best life includes knowing how to take care of yourself," I suggested. My mother chose that moment to join us, looking odd in her non-designer sundress. She'd been staying with Amanda, helping her adjust, or rather they'd been adjusting together. "I made sandwiches," she announced proudly, placing a slightly messy platter on the table. "First time in 30 years. They're not as pretty as the chefs used to be, but they're perfect, Mom," I said, genuinely touched by her effort. The kids climbed out of the pool for lunch, and I watched in amazement as Amanda's children devoured the homemade sandwiches with genuine appreciation. No complaints about crusts or demands for gourmet options. "Mom," Madison called out, "can Sophie and Jack teach us how to make these? They said they make their own lunches for school." Amanda's eyes welled up. "Of course, honey, maybe we can all learn together." Later, as the sun began to set, and the kids were drying off, Amanda approached me with an envelope. "What's this?" I asked. "Job applications," she replied, looking both embarrassed and determined. "The local bakery is hiring, and the community center needs swimming instructors." I thought, maybe it's time I learned what real work feels like. I studied my stepsister's face, seeing genuine humility there for the first time. "You know, my company could use someone to organize corporate events. You always were good at planning parties." "Really?" Her eyes lit up, then dimmed. "But I was horrible to you, to your children." "Yes, you were," I agreed. "But you're learning, that's what matters now." My mother joined us, carrying empty plates. "I've enrolled in cooking classes," she announced, "and I'm volunteering at the library. Did you know they have a whole program for teaching seniors about computers?" I smiled, remembering all the times she'd dismissed my suggestions to learn new skills. "Welcome to the real world, Mom." As we watched the children play Marco Polo in the pool, all of them equals now in their Target swimsuits, Amanda asked quietly, "Why did you keep it secret for so long?" "Your success." "Because money shouldn't determine how people treat each other," I replied. "I wanted my children to learn the value of work, kindness, and real relationships, not just price tags and status." "Well," she said, watching her daughter share a pool noodle with Sophie, "I think we're all learning that lesson now." The sun set on our pool party, casting golden light on all the children playing together. No designer labels or status symbols between them. Sometimes the biggest wealth isn't in bank accounts or mansion pools. It's in the moments when people finally understand what really matters. My mother squeezed my hand. "We were wrong about so many things." "Yes," I agreed, "but you're learning, and that's worth more than any fortune." As I watched Amanda help the kids clean up the pool toys, something she'd never have done before, I knew that sometimes the best revenge isn't about punishment at all. Sometimes it's about giving people the chance to become better versions of themselves. Maybe that was the greatest luxury of all.